I am part of IBM's accessibility research team. Accessibility is something that's near and dear to my heart personally. I am someone who has myself been losing vision steadily over time. I have some vision remaining, but not very much. So through that process of vision loss, I've become more and more reliant on public transportation myself. I could drive until about 15 years ago and had to give it up. And so become more reliant on public transit. And so the thing that's interesting is that the more reliant I've become on public transportation, the more noticeable some of the challenges of access have been, right? And so to be on a project where the aim is to create an accessible transportation experience has been really close to the vest. So my role in Accessible Olli has been largely about helping facilitate and pull together the focus groups or the workshops. A major tenet in accessibility is the inclusion of people with actual disabilities in helping kind of shape and design. Being someone with a disability myself, that's something that I place a great importance on personally. And so it's been really exciting as we've kind of developed the 4 personas that are being used as examples here. And accessibility, work, obviously very, very important, but, Accessible Olli is really a living lab. It's something where we're crowdsourcing solutions to make it a more accessible experience for everyone. Autonomous for all of us is not just a slogan. And so, as the process has gone on, the ability to work with actual people who have disabilities, get their feedback, their honest feedback on what works well and what might not work so well from a transportation perspective has been invaluable. And so it's been a real thrill to be part of that process. Firsthand experience myself as someone with vision loss, I can tell you that, historically, whenever I board a bus or a train, if that first seat by the door is taken, then it's very challenging for me to then go on and continue on into the vehicle and figure out where the next available seat is. But if you have an identifier, like if I'm wearing carrying one of these ID cards, which allows Olli to sense and detect me and access my profile and say, okay, here comes Erich. He can't see very well, so that by the time I board the shuttle, if Olli can audibly say, hi, Erich, the seat that's 3 steps to your right is available. From my perspective, that's a game changer. That restores my mobility, my independence, my confidence in navigating. But for someone like Brent, another persona, Brent is deaf, the audible feedback in the moment is not going to be so valuable, right? So again, the point being that for Olli to be able to recognize, detect and adapt according to each rider's needs is really the huge potential and the excitement of this technology that we're developing here.
Well, and it's the process too. I imagine with this whole open source development that's gone about, it also informs you on how to improve just fixed infrastructure as well.
You're absolutely right. A lot of learning is done in hindsight, and that's a big part of going through this. As we come through and hear from actual users with disabilities, we're gathering this information on what works and what doesn't work, and then taking a fresh look at some of the existing infrastructure, as you said, that's out there. It allows us to think bigger and really targeted improvements on as we move ahead and move forward. And again, the technology that's being developed for use on the Olli shuttle really, practically can be used anywhere. It could be deployed to a hotel. It could be deployed to an amusement park. It's the development of the technology that identifies and adapts to each user's needs that is really exciting here.